Adam, start with you when you're ready.
Hi Daniel.
Hi.
We're nearly there in terms of the window shutting. Let's talk about the people that have come in. Because we've got Jed Spence, Len Kamara, Ilya Gurv as well. So tell me about them. Why did you want them? What are they going to bring?
Yeah, I'm really pleased with our signings in the last days. Obviously, we spoke about that we want to strengthen also our fullback options a little bit, and I think a brilliant piece of business with Jed Spence. He has proved, especially on this level, that he can be outstanding, and pretty happy that we were able to bring him in. Yes, also pretty happy with the two signings in midfield, because it was obvious that we needed to strengthen our squad, especially in these positions, because Ethan Ampadu and Archie Gray, they nearly had to play each and every second, even in the cup games, and you can't rely just on over 46 games in the league and 2 cup competitions. Yeah, sadly, just 1 cup competition anymore. Just on a 17-year-old guy as the only option for the number 8 position, or that Ethan Ampadu is always available. So I think it was necessary to bring players in on these positions, and I'm pretty pleased with Ilya and also with Glenn, because we got players with real quality, so good on the ball, but also already with experience. Glenn has played for a Scottish giant. Also, he knows to play in front of a crazy crowd and lots of pressure. They have the pressure to win each and every game. Proven international team player for Finland, with Ilya, the same proven international for Bulgaria. Has played an important role for Werder Bremen on Bundesliga level, so quite important. They are versatile to play in different midfield positions. They have physicality, but and are also good on the ball. But for me, with the same importance. So these are players who are desperate to play for Leeds United. So they signed a long-term contract. They were desperate to be here, and they have also some experience. I think in the middle of the park, we are right now also there with a really solid squad. And yes, happy with all 3 signings.
What about the left back area, Daniel? Any chance of somebody coming in before it closes tonight?
Well, we will stay awake till the final second of the window. But overall, as a manager, you always cry for more options and more quality. And yeah, of course, if I would be able to sign Roberto Carlos in his prime, I would be open to do this. Sadly, I think he's retired meanwhile and is doing something else. But I also have to say, we've got Junior Firpo, we've got Sam Byram, who was outstanding there. So I hope both will be back on the other end of the international break. At least it looks good with the re-up of both of them. Jamie Shackleton has played this role, I think, in a fantastic manner. In the second half at Ipswich, also assisted to a goal of Lewis. So in general, we have options, and also Pascal Sturridge has sometimes played, at least in last season, on the fullback position on the left side. So yes, of course, if left fullbacks are injured anyhow, then we would have a problem. But yeah, you can't have a squad of 45 players anyhow. So overall, I'm happy with my fullback positions.
And Daniel, ahead of the game tomorrow against Sheffield Wednesday, are you confident that you will still have Somerville, Yonto? I know you said that not Sale and Sinister.
Yes, pretty confident.
Pretty confident. That you know,
yes, in this business you can't give a guarantee. But I tell you what, so we have survived the last 8 weeks anyhow without any problems. I think when you compare our situation a few weeks ago with the squad situation right now, I think we're looking in a really good place. So, and I'm pretty sure that we'll also always also survive the last 8 hours. So, in this football business, you can never give a 100% guarantee. I mentioned in the last press conference there could be a crazy offer from Saudi or something like this, and that's a different scenario. But overall, so I have to give many compliments to our owners, to our board, to our people who work unbelievably hard. With Greta, with Nick, fantastic what they're doing with limited resources anyhow. So I'm pretty pleased with this window so far, and I'm quite confident, without having a 100% guarantee, but I'm quite confident that we will also have a really good last 8 hours.
How exhausting is it for a manager this window, particularly this one, the deadline day approaching tomorrow?
Well, I'm looking forward to have the international break and some quieter days. That's definitely for sure. And the telephone is not ringing the whole day and 1,000 messages per day. And you have to watch also not just opponents and your own games and have to think about training and the next game, but also about potential incomings and watch players and be in touch with so many people. So it's exhausting. But I'm not complaining. So I'm leading a privileged life and everything is okay. Yeah, and there are periods when it's sometimes tough and then you have to keep going because, we want to create a good future for this club. And to be honest, it was really a difficult situation a few weeks ago. I think it has eased up a lot and it looks we're on the right path. I'm also looking forward to after this window, transfer window is closed, that everyone really can concentrate on football, because it's also for the lads not easy when there are so many rumors and also so many thoughts in the head to concentrate just on football. And I had this experience in a bit different way, for example, also at Norwich, and I know it's difficult, especially after relegation. Yeah, due to our situation, this transfer window with Leeds United was really special and even a bit more exhausting. But I have to give compliments to my players, how down to earth they are, and also like how focused they are still. Otherwise, it's not possible to be there with a brilliant away win at Ipswich. And I told them before. So during all August and until the window is shut, we have to grind out some results and to win as many points as possible. And we have already 5, and I want to add tomorrow also a few, and then we can take a little breath and then concentrate on working on the training pitch, working with this group and concentrating on football. And I'm looking forward to have this situation. But tomorrow we have one time to deliver and to grind out as many points as possible.
And finally from me with regards to Sheffield Wednesday, obviously you've got Bro available again to you. Are the new players available to you? Are they all registered now and can you use them tomorrow?
We have to wait a bit for the confirmation. I'm quite confident with Glenn. I think he should be available, but we're waiting still for the that everyone comes back from the league with the paperwork. We have to wait a bit. With Ilya, it's a bit more complicated because he had a visa appointment in order to have this. So I'm not sure if it arrives in time. So the most important topic is right now they are also available on the other end, hopefully then of the transfer window. But it could be that they are for tomorrow already in the mix. Would be beneficial. Let's wait what the next minutes and hours will bring. Thank you.
Daniel, how do you see the profiles of Ilya and Glenn? Is Glenn the one that would go forward more?
I think they are both capable to play on the holding midfielder position, but also to play the number 8 a bit more like box to box. Naturally, perhaps Ilya is a bit more like the holding midfielder who holds the position and covers the space more like with his passing and reads the game, and Glenn also with his capability to drive with the ball, to find sometimes even a finishing pass a bit more natural on number 8 position. But I think they both can play both positions. They both have played also in their former clubs both positions. And it always depends a bit on their teammates, the setup of our team, but also on the opponent and the quality of the opponent, who we choose in which competition. I think it's important right now also to be a bit more flexible and to have, especially for the 2 a bit more defensive positions that we've played. Also right now competition, we still have Jamie Shackleton, who can also play on this position. So I think it was important because in the heart of the game, in the middle of the park, you want to be strong and you can't rely just on one player. And with all praise, and we are unbelievably happy with the development of Archie Gray, but we can't just rely on that 17-year-old guy is each every second available. So it's also good, and I think it will be beneficial. Not just for our group, but even for Ethan and for Archie, that they don't have to carry all the burden anyhow and all the reliability for these positions. And it's definitely good business for our squad.
What's your injury situation for this game?
Also, this is much improved because Matteo Joseph is back in team training. Had already 2 sessions with the team. Obviously, he was out for quite a long time, but he could be a topic also for the squad tomorrow, not for the starting lineup. So 90 minutes would be too much, but he could be a topic for the squad. And also Jan Poveda is back in team training. A bit the same picture. obviously he was just out for 2 weeks and not that long like Matteo. So it's good to have him back as well. Apart from that, I think we spoke already about Sam Byram, that he will miss a game. Yes, I think that's more or less it. Danny James also not available for tomorrow. We will probably miss also the international games anyhow due to his rehab, but we are also quite confident that he's available for the next game after the international break.
Hi Daniel, you've mentioned quite a few adductor injuries recently. Is that just a coincidence, or is it something that you and Rob Price are investigating in any particular way? Is there a reason for that prevalence of injury?
Yeah, sometimes it's also a bit a coincidence. I think it happened to a few players who were not used to play so many games on this level, and also in a row due to the workload. And they had, and I think, for example, about Jan Poveda, he hasn't played that much anyhow for us, and then he was pretty much involved in pre-season, also right now in the beginning of the season. With Somerville, he arrived a bit later, also back in the pre-season anyhow. So I think it was also due to this moment. But we had also a pretty tight group anyhow. We were just sometimes training with 15 first-team players and traveled to the friendlies also with a small group. And perhaps I had to play even a few more minutes than I would have wished, or even the cup games anyhow. So it was a bit tricky. For that, I'm even more pleased right now that we have more options right now available. I think also in this terms it will be quite beneficial. Yes, that our injury situation will also ease up a little bit also in this topics. Yes.
Cody's obviously gone to Birmingham this morning. He's somebody that's done really well in the Championship in previous years. What's the story behind his exit? Was that driven by Jed's arrival, or is there something you didn't quite see enough from him?
No, it was not a decision against Cody. I mentioned several times, brilliant lad, and he has also delivered on this level. Obviously, also in teams who's always packed, but play also a bit slightly different in comparison to Leeds United, and also perhaps sometimes also like the ambition is also a little bit different. So for that, I think you can't compare this too much. But he has proved that he's capable to play on this level, also really proper. But we've got with Luke Ayling, really experienced leader of our group, and right now also with Jed Spence, pretty good option for this level, who was outstanding, and there was no coincidence that Tottenham was willing to spend so much money for him once they signed him. We have also Sam Byram, who can also play the right position, Jamie Shackleton anyhow. So we have options there, and for that we got the feeling it was also Cody's wish to play more or less each and every minute, and for that I think it's a smart move also for all parties.
If the window closes and the squad is as it is at the moment, how do you think it matches up to the rest of the division? And would you have settled for this when you came in as head coach?
Well, I think we are in a really solid position also to work ambitious if we keep this group and we survive also the last 8 hours. To be honest, in the beginning of my regime here at Leeds United, I didn't expect that this squad would exactly look like this, because obviously there was at this moment we had many players who are meanwhile out on loan, who are with us, also brilliant lads like Jack Harrison, Tyler Adams, Max Wilber, and all the others. And in the beginning, obviously you were also tempted to keep them, but if it's not possible, then you have to find also some other solutions. And again, I have to give our key people behind the scene many compliments, because it was a tough few weeks and tough decisions to make, and also not that easy to the limited resources we have to work on. But also when I judge our window, obviously when you want to bring some quality players in, sometimes you have to go for a loan, like for example with Joe Roden and Jed Spence, because in this moment we can't afford to buy expensive Tottenham players, but also all the other players we brought in, Ethan Ampadu, Carl Darlow, Joel Pirot, right now with Ilya Gruev, with Glenn Kamara, Sam Byram. These are all players who signed more or less long-term contracts, fully committed, desperate to be with us. I think this is also important for the group, that we have a group right now of players who are really desperate to fight for this shirt and are willing to be successful, and a bit of a new era. And yeah, let's be honest, we also needed after a few years and also a bit few disappointing years, a bit fresh blood and players who come here with euphorism and desperate to play and not just to be around and thinking about perhaps some other options anyhow. So I think we have a good mix right now between real quality that we were able to keep them, but also like with fresh blood and players who are willing to go and to drive and to work unbelievably hard. So I think we are definitely in a solid position, although I couldn't have predicted that the squad would exactly look like this 8 weeks ago.
Do you think it's getting harder to persuade players to come to the Championship? Say in comparison to when you were last at Norwich in this division, is it getting more difficult to persuade them to play at this level as opposed to look for a higher level?
I think it always depends on the situation of the club, and obviously, yeah, there were some doubts about our general situation a few weeks ago about the financial background, the takeover, the clauses, and so on. And so step by step, we've worked unbelievable hard in order to get more and more in control. And meanwhile, I got the feeling so the whole club is back in control. Yes, till we are really over the moon and everything is really completely sorted. It will also take some time, but I think it's important that we also create this reputation as a club. And let's be honest, so the name Leeds United and this club and this amazing supporters, Elland Road, it's still a big name, not just in this country, but even abroad. Anyhow, and we're still capable to bring players in, and even in this division, because they see also how amazing it could be to be a player for Leeds United. But I think it's always important that we show that we work really, really serious and professional and reliable, and also good hard work, and the way we want to play, the way we want to work, the values for that we want to stand. I think you can lose trust pretty quick, but also like to build up the trust, new trust and support. And for that you have to work with consistency, and this is what we're trying to do since weeks, and we will exactly keep going in this way, and then it will be even easier to sign players. I think we're on the right path.
Daniel, how difficult is it to prepare for an important derby game when we're talking on Friday afternoon? You're still waiting on work permits, you've still got your fingers crossed that there won't be big bids for certain players, you only signed a couple of players yesterday. How difficult does that make the preparation for this game?
Yes, it is difficult, and it feels a bit like different to normal situations when you can focus the squad on the game, you can work the whole week just towards a game, and everyone is really focused on the training pitch to fight for a place on the starting lineup. And there is so much work behind the scenes, player incomings, player outgoings, also some question marks, some doubt, lots of talking. It's never easy, because we must not forget these are young players. So I'm meanwhile in age, anyhow, when I've experienced everything, that makes my life a bit more relaxed, and I can watch it with a bit more distance, and I'm never too carried away, not in both directions. I'm never over the moon, but also not too down when something doesn't go in our way. But for these young lads, it's not that easy, because also their surroundings, their families, their friends, people around them. So they are pretty much public people in nowadays with all the social media. It's not easy for them to handle all the rumors and all the speculations anyhow. But for that, I have to give credit to my team, because I think they are pretty focused when it comes down to training and on the training pitch, and also pretty focused and together and with unity once we're in competitive games on the pitch. And like I mentioned before, so tomorrow will be still a bit tricky, because the week was not the easiest week in terms of all this incomings, outgoings, all the rumors. But we want to fight for the points. We want to grind out a result. And if we're capable to do this, then I think we're in a solid position on the other side of the international break. Yeah, then to concentrate on football, and then to grow as a team and also as a club, more or less from game day to game day.
And just on the lads you've signed this week, I appreciate Ilya's been playing, hasn't he, in the Bundesliga, but I don't think Glenn and Jed have had any football this season. So how difficult is it to throw them in? Obviously, once you've had the international break, it'd be a lot easier. But in terms of this game, can you get them up to speed in time?
The good thing is they're quality players, and the second is they're experienced players, and they can adapt to situations. Obviously, it's slightly different to, for example, Joel Pirot, who has played more or less 46 games last season, and also had a proper preseason and had played already 3 competitive games when he joined us. For that, we got the feeling, okay, we can throw him into the mix straight away. It's a bit different scenario with Glenn. And also with Jed. I think with Ilya, at least he had many preseason games and also was involved last week in the game, at least with some minutes against Freiburg for him, perhaps even a bit easier. But it's also no need anyhow to rush, because we have already proper players, but more like on the mid and the long term. It will be unbelievably beneficial that we had the signings, and it was important to bring them in. Yes, we'll see how much they will be involved in the game tomorrow. Again, it's also still a bit due to the paperwork, but I would be quite confident if I give them some minutes that they would deliver, and also perhaps can handle that the lack of game time with a bit of euphorism and being happy to be here and to work right now and to feel wanted and to feel trusted. Anyhow, I think they can copy this for one game, and after that we have a bit more time to work with them, and then everything will be a bit easier.
Thank
Good.
you.
Perfect.